Hello everyone, welcome to episode 4 of the Azzopardi account. And today I'm very tired, as you can probably tell by my voice already. Long day, woke up early, had a whole probably 10 hours of work, physical work, so a little quieter, but kind of, what's it called? A laid back topic for the day. And it's developing a drive for success, mostly my personal perspective on how my drive is developed and kind of how I seen it develop and what actually worked to make it get stronger. Because there's so many things that I hear people say, like, oh, you have to be driven, you have to do these things, wake up early in the morning, cold shower, stick to schedules, all these kinds of things. And they're to an extent very true. It's just you kind of can't start there. Like, you go online, and obviously everyone online wants to portray their best version of themselves all at once, which it's social media. You're not going to post your lazy days because no one gets likes from that. But if you post your big Ferrari and you're doing drifts and you're doing whatever, having fun, people are going to love that. But it's starting out small, and I didn't realize this until very recently, which just came to mind naturally. I'd always try and do so many things at once and it wouldn't work, where I would okay, I gotta sleep at 12 and then wake up at 7 and then eat breakfast right away, work out, have a cool shower. I tried that and it worked for about a week, and then I got tired of it. My body couldn't do it, my brain couldn't push myself to do it, and I gave up. And it was a constant cycle of doing that for the last couple of years, of just on and off, on and off. And one thing I realized is it was okay to take things slow. Everyone's always, again, pushing for the best. Always, you can't walk, you can't crawl, you have to run all the time. But as everyone logically knows, but not emotionally knows, is that you gotta crawl before you can walk, you gotta walk before you can run, you gotta run before you can fly, So how I applied this is the last, I'd say, week or so, 2 weeks, I think it was. I was going into the slow season of my business, and I'm still going to the slow season now. And I was like, you know what? I'm not really being productive. I'm doing my work and I'm coming home and I'm just playing video games. I'm not really, doing what I should be as an entrepreneur. And I said, let's do one thing at a time, right? So the book I just read, the first book that I bought online after watching, it started as a bunch of YouTube videos doing research, which was a good start. I'm not committing too much time. It's not too much focus oriented. It's kind of easy because I'm just watching a video, but it was educational. And then later the guy I was watching, Alex Hormozy, he had a book called The $100 Million Offers. And I said, you know what? Why not buy the book? It would benefit me, right? But I had a habit of whenever I would buy a book and I wasn't in like a productive stage, the book would probably I'd put it in my shelf, make it look all organized, and never read it. Like, you can't see it, but over right next to me I have like a whole shelf, probably 5 feet high, 6 feet high, worth of books. And I've read mostly half of them, but half of them are the ones that I just bought and said I'm gonna read this, and then never got around to reading it, right? And I really didn't want that to happen with this book, so I took baby steps. I took one thing at a time, and then, well, the book kind of hooked me because it was so informational about what I needed to do. So I read the whole thing in about 3 days. It was like 150 pages, which isn't too much, but it's a start. And then immediately after that, I was like, okay, the guy, Alex recommended me a book by Russell Brunson to do with ClickFunnels, and then I bought that instantly. And I'm reading that at this moment. I was going to finish the rest tonight. I still might because I'm quite tired. I want to actually remember what I read. But yeah, just that book is 350 pages, and I'm 60 away from finishing it, and I bought it 3 days ago, right? Which kind of sounds crazy. How do you go from not wanting to read at all to reading almost an entire book within 3 days? And it's a big snowball effect, I'll be honest, because people talk about it online, and it's like, again, if you do one small task, you'll want to do 2 smaller tasks, and then 1 medium task, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, that would take forever. It wouldn't make any sense. But after experiencing it, where, again, just for the book example, reading nothing to wanting to read an entire book, mostly because it applied to what I had to do in life and it actually engaged my mind, it shows up to be true. And on top of this, you know, not just the books, but it also kind of affected everything else in life. Where, now, I have also a book called Discipline Equals Freedom by Jocko Willink. I've had that one for probably over a year and haven't read it, but I knew in the back of my head that there was workouts in there that are really good and I should do them. So my next book I'm going to read is that book to get the workouts to start working out, because inherently so, I mean, there's probably science behind the dopamine and release and whatever you want to call it. I'm not a huge science person. I understand it, but I can't repeat it back to you because I haven't done formal research. But the energy and the rush that I get from reading books and improving my mind and improving my skills that'll help me further my career and my entrepreneurial career, has made me want to do better. So before, I would say, I never want to work out. I never want to work out. And right now I'm still in that stage. I'm not getting up and being like, I gotta work out today, amazing, right? It's kind of a second thought, but the difference is it's coming to me. Right before, I would never even think about working out, but even though I say I want to, I'd be like, yeah, in a year I'm gonna come ripped and huge and big muscles and whatever. I've got great genetics, but they're just genetics, right? I gotta put in the work. Even with that, I've been sleeping. I wouldn't say I've been sleeping better, because I'm really not good with sleep schedules, because I like staying up late, doing work late, but then I would schedule my own jobs in the morning, so I can't really go to those, and then it's all over the place. But even just the drive, like this morning, and unfortunately I was on 4 hours of sleep because I went to bed late, doing work, talking to people, and then in the morning I had to get up to do this big job, and I'm very tired because of it, but it's setting the path to not sleeping in until 3 o'clock, right? And one thing again, this all kind of just came naturally. Like, there was no force behind it. There was no one telling me, oh, you had to do the drive, you kind of had to do this, because I firmly believe as well that no matter how many times somebody says something to you, unless you believe it inside your head 100% and you're not kind of forced to do it and you just do it on your own, you're not really going to accomplish it. Simple thing. Everyone's got this example. You're at home, when you were a kid, or if you're a kid now, you're washing the dishes or you're cleaning your room. You're washing it, and everything's good. You feel happy, you feel productive. And your parents come down, hey, better make sure you wash those dishes. And you look at them and you're like, do you not see me washing the dishes? And now you just feel totally unmotivated to do so, right? Simple thing. It's, when I was going through school and high school, everyone always told me, oh, don't waste this. Oh, don't waste your brain, because I'm a gifted student. Oh, don't do this. You have to be productive. You have to be best in your class. And I never really wanted to, because I was like, one, it wasn't what I wanted to do in life. And two, I didn't feel like I was working for myself. And that was the difference. And I get a big story, and my screen just turned off. Big backstory. I disappointed my father really badly, and I felt really bad disappointing him. But it was a difference of, I knew I was going to go somewhere, because he wanted me the best for me. He didn't want me to waste my brain and all that kind of stuff, and I understood that. But I knew I was going to go far. I know that I'm going to be, my millionaire by 21 is my goal, and then 10 million and 100 million by 30, or whatever it may be. I just wasn't going to take the path that he had thought I was, and it very much scared him for what his vision of me was. But I wanted to make sure that, I wasn't going to be one of those failures. And, as soon as school went out, I did my business, and I'm learning so much, and I've done probably tenfold more for my life than I have in the last probably almost a year out of school. Not a year, sorry. It was June, July, August, October. 6 months, 6 months out of school than I have in the last 4 years of my life. Whether that be maturity, whether that be whatever it is, it's just happened, and I'm very happy to do it, but I got to keep putting in the work. It's just how it is. So simple input on just drive for success and drive to succeed is, you can try and force it all you want, but until you find a natural way to do it and do it at your own pace, only then when you build it up. One day you will get to that superstar athlete or academic student or whatever your goal is in life that you truly believe you want to do, you'll get there. And as long as you put in the work, I know you'll get there, because I'll get there and we'll all make it. And just, enjoy the time you have now, because I'm very one-sided on, going out and drinking and stuff. That's a story for another day, but enjoy your time, but make sure you don't enjoy your time so much that you don't focus on tomorrow. Because you shouldn't only focus on tomorrow, but if you never focus on tomorrow, you'll be saying that when you're on your deathbed, and then you'll have no more tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it off there. Again, thanks for listening again. This was Developing a Drive for Success. I've just got my screen in front of me, just keep looking at it. Yeah, just go at your own pace, work where you can, and as long as you're taking just one baby step forward at a time, you'll make it, I'll make it, we'll all be happy, hopefully. Yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I will see you tomorrow.